and this is session 44, our final session of the Ultraviolet Grasslands. What happened last time? Spent a lot of time at the house to talk to Door, let them in. Met Yagaraga playing with Speckles. Met our necromancer Levere in the kitchen making meringue or parfaits.
Parfaits.
Um, Met Peppa's a bartender who made you a couple of drinks, and some folks had them. And there are also tickets to the Eternal Battleground, something like that. Um,
The eternal battlefield of the cosmic champion is
that's
what
the
I wrote
one.
down.
That's the one. Let's see. We got Alba Negra taken care of, made a new body based on beans, got her soul transferred over there. Got some really sick armor from Yagaraga for to be skin. Especially got some moss blood, and almost everyone drank their final drink, getting 10,000 experience points each, except for Skelly, who is on the wagon. Skelly talked to the Chaos of Possibility a little bit, got knowledge of how to kill Black City, even though they can't. And everyone left or went back to the last camp. I think only 10 hours had passed, right?
Yeah, we it felt like we were in there for like weeks, if not months.
Yeah,
Hard to say. And yeah, our campsite, like you're only there for like a day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Totally.
were in there for weeks and months. Albanegras spent a lot of time learning about organic, mechano, alien space architecture. She
Yeah.
did not learn that in 3 hours.
Yeah, it's all Jeremy Bearimy in there. So but yeah, we are starting off our last one. We're gonna do some montage stuff, so it's not gonna be all the procedures. But sounds like some of the wishes were to take care of the rebuilder, check out the back under Restful Pines, other stuff outside the city. So um, the caravan has reconvened in the last camp, I believe it's called, and it is still uh, it is still um, the middle of dead winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if we want to fast forward to spring and move out, we can. Or if you want to do stuff here in the winter, we can also do that. What do we feel like?
I mean,
Did go on
I
till.
was going to say, technically, both my characters would like to get some training in.
Hmm.
Not that it matters really, but it's just, to complete some of the things that they were working on if possible.
Yeah, I think if we're spending 3 months in there, just take um, what were you looking to finish up?
So give me one moment, and I shall use the power of a computer. Um, so Aderon was trying to like eventually get back to being a full master of Flesh's clay body.
Hmm.
That's pretty much all they had to do.
That's
And
reasonable.
Albanegger was trying to complete the expert level of worker.
Yeah, I think both of those are reasonable to do over the winter in the Black City.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I will just go ahead and simplify those.
Feels like Modan would probably complete expert makeup tutorial.
Yes.
Last last 3 pips of that.
Absolutely.
Get a side gig as makeup artist.
Well, and how, how how does your makeup artistry work on legumens?
Mm.
I mean, I think, as part of training it to expert, I mean, I know, what he's already been doing was like finding out sort of what is attractive to different species, different, and so being able to maximize that to be effective across demographics. And so I think, yeah, probably as part of those final three trainings, he would have been, especially with Spatula and now Alba Negra, I think there would have been a lot of work on since they're the first two
Yeah.
lagoon beings as well,
So,
really
so
figuring out.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out if underneath our outer shell we sort of look like oh, what's it? Oh, darn it. I was thinking about it earlier. No, not that one. Um, Not tofu, but
Like seitan or
Tempeh.
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 Yeah.
Because I can imagine, because tempeh's got the whole beans, and then it's got a culture all around it.
It will probably be a small yapping dog when I'm trying to talk that I'm won't be quiet. Every time it sees a squirrel or something outside, it's alert, alert, alert. Oh,
Yep,
Here we are.
there you go. On cue.
But yeah, I figure I know at least for spatula, it was more like you could see the beans taking shape of whatever it wanted, but if they leave in face in the helmet. And I think the equivalent of makeup for that is I think that Modan's figured out how probably with Albanegra's help to make like different colored drinks that you can
Sure.
drink that will color a portion of the
Oh,
beans,
interesting.
different
And,
colors, and then they could manipulate those colors however they want and have
right.
like some green beans up here and then some red beans over here and some blue beans across here.
I
Almost
think,
like dyeing Easter eggs.
right, that's interesting. I think Albanegro will also request from Aderon that they make a porcelain mask for her
Mm,
for times when she needs to be less
Nice.
ostentatious.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
really
like it.
And if Spatula would like a porcelain mask made also, that's something Aderon can easily do. It will also confuse people because they might think that Spatula and Albanegro are part of it.
Ooh, Polybody. Are you
Well, I
pulling
think
princes?
since
We are, sort of.
Spatula's in a suit with a helmet, I kind of figure maybe he would have some kind of visor or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Special almost looks like he's one of the satraps, sort of,
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
So
Other than
we got our satrap and we got our prince there.
a
Right.
beanie head inside a satrap
Yeah.
Beanie prince,
helmet.
beanie satrap.
So, so I did want to mention that Phaedrid actually, because of the 10,000 XP drink and then the additional like thousand, I was like 800 short of a level, but then
Hmm.
you give us an additional thousand for just for so like Phaedrid made it to seventh level.
Nice.
So I took a so I took a bump to I took a bump to his thought skill, which both gives him another slot on mind palace. Well, that's level based, but he now has another open skill slot. So I don't know if I'll bother figuring out what that is, but I do have an idea for what spell Phaedrid eventually wants to learn. Although that may be we may figure that out during the epilogue.
Cool.
Yeah. And Albanegro went from second level to fifth level at the moment, but with a tiny bump, she will get up to sixth level sort of overnight.
Nice.
Or, it took several months in the Black City, but same thing, overnight, several months. What
Several
is,
months in the Black City, it was overnight. It was overnight outside.
yeah,
Sweet. We'll fast forward to spring then. With green month, I guess it is. The everything's thawing out a little bit, still cold and wet, but travel is open and folks are starting to leave from the last camp again back east with things or changes. Spending the winter in the Black City probably takes a toll on everyone one way or another.
I was going to say, so Phaedrid would have attempted to like again buy low to like get supply to like get. I mean, we get as many supplies as we reasonably need to get to the next destination.
Yeah.
But we do need to go to Is that where's the map? We do need to get to where was that? We do need to go back. I was initially thinking of going back through the other route, but
Mhm.
we want to go through Darklight Passage because that's where the spirit that's where the spirit of the rebuilder is.
Yeah, and also Albanegra's got a map to a forgotten aerolith sitting in the forest of meat,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and she would. That was the thing that like propelled her on to this, you know, completely unsafe, completely unstable midlife crisis kind of adventure.
Yeah, it might be interesting, and this might, I think this is kind of what Mark said, but just to clarify for myself more than anything, when you're saying since it's sort of a wrap-up montage,
Mhm.
I mean, it might be kind of fun to like kind of do what we just did with Winter, like all these little mini things, like what ends up happening if we had played full sessions with the Rebuilder, with the autofac, with like what are the long-term things that happen with these loose
Yeah,
ends?
that's kind of what I was hoping we would do with
Yeah.
this session is just kind of do some hand waving if we want to roll some dice just to see like overall like how did like overall how did this month go or something like that. We could do that, but yeah, I was just thinking we just kind of hand wave
Yeah.
if that's okay with you. If that's okay with you, Mark, because you're the GM.
Super good. Super good. Yeah, that's what I was kind of planning.
Yeah, or like you said, maybe a few rolls, like almost like what's that game, Mark? Was like you do the thing, you make a roll basic where you like in media res, but you make the roll to see sort of how it went. Like went
Mhm.
great, and everything was good, and oh, it didn't go well,
Say Fortune in the Dark games work a bit like that,
They
or
do. They do.
and Aegon works sort of like that as well.
That's true. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so it takes a little bit to get to the force meet, not too long. It's a path that you have been before. And with a little bit of poking around and asking, you are directed to the Biomancer's Cradle by travelers who have been through here before. Um, this is it's about 3 days from the forest proper. It's a 30-meter wide lattice of aerolith that just kind of like extends into the sky. And you can actually see the stuck forest kind of sparkling. Um, Plants have kind of like crept up it, vines and mosses and whatnot. Um, and at the top of the sort of aerolith vine network, there's like a house-sized copper egg, basically. Um,
Elba, this is where you, Elba, this is where you have been drawn to.
mhm.
So I got a map back in the Redland a long time ago. Somebody said this would be my fortune. And so
Hmm.
I cashed in all my savings, which weren't much. I started this way.
Hmm. Well then,
Who has the best agility here? Looks like Modan, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd
Um,
say I think it might be Skelly.
I
oh
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Skelly just lost some agility for the knowledge burden.
Oh,
Oh,
that's right.
right.
Can I get a
It is me now.
agility check from Modan then?
All right. Oh, everybody refresh your hero dice.
Oh yeah.
Last hero dice.
Hmm,
Look if you got him.
exactly. No, I'm saving them. Well, I might need them because that's a 4 plus a 2 is a 6 total. Um,
Yeah, do you want to spend some hero dice to not
I
fall?
That might not be a bad idea.
yeah, let's go ahead and throw a hero down there, see what that does. All right, that's better.
Cool.
11?
11. One more will probably get you up there safely. But or you can take a little bit of damage on the way up. It's up to you.
Damage would just be off my life.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can get scraped up a little.
Yeah, let's just do
I got plenty of life.
let's just do 5 life. There's a tricky part as tell me how you're ascending this kind of like network of aerolith and plants.
Well, I figure maybe to explain like how I damage, since I do have the rope ladder,
Oh yeah.
maybe I'm trying to kind of make my way up first to anchor the rope ladder for everybody else. And it's I so I'm it's a little more precarious for me.
Doesn't
And
Elbenegra have a pet dragon?
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
God.
very good point. Uh, well, maybe Albanegras gives me a lift up on the dragon to anchor my rope.
To anchor your rope ladder, but it's too heavy. But your dragon can't carry 2 riders.
The
Well,
aerolith starts
a
sinking.
dragon can carry 2 riders. Sorry.
I think what happens is after I've anchored it, I get on it, test it out, and one of the anchors comes out.
Oh, there you go.
And so I fall and hit a couple of rocks, but then grab the
Yeah.
ladder and so I don't fall all the way down.
Yeah, that would be
And,
bad.
and then maybe Albanegra re-anchors the one that fell out for me while I'm hanging there. Please put the anchor back in. The anchor back in. Thank you. Ouch. My,
Yeah,
a
so
little bit.
the egg, it's like the size of a shack, kind of, maybe like I don't know, like a dozen feet across on the long end. It's just kind of like embedded in that top aerolith there. There's an opening, like just an archway you can enter into it. It looks like it has been there for a very, very long time. There's even some like some birds have made clearly birds have made nests in there in the past, but it is currently unoccupied. There are a few very chill goat vomes um, that have kind of like made their way up to different parts of the aerolith. Um, Approaching cautiously, they don't seem to be aggressive at all or even acknowledge you that much.
Okay.
So how many weeks of supplies would an omelet from this egg be? I'm kidding. Kidding.
I mean, if you could
Just
eat
kidding.
metal, a lot.
Well, if we all become foam, we could probably eat metal.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
We
Um,
are the Borg. Resistance is futile.
I thought we were trying to all become bean people.
can I get a thought roll from let's make it Aderon.
Okay.
Assume Aderon's going up there.
Yep. Okay. Hold on a second. Find the right tab. Because I have it open. Oh, that's why. And dot roll 20 and that's 4. 23.
Fantastic. Um, how are you kind of like exploring or playing around with what's in the house?
So Aderon would actually caution everybody to not step into the house right away.
Hmm.
And Aderon Aderon looks at the interior of the house as possibly a meta representation of a creation that has not completed.
Interesting.
And so Aderon is going to see if they can understand some of the patterns and probably talk with, especially Phaedra, because of Phaedra's wizard knowledge and Skelly potentially too, but Skelly's not here.
Mhm.
And we know that this has something to do with biomancers also. And so Aderon's like, what future birth is being prepared here?
Nice. As you are exploring and poking around with that stuff in there. Um, it there's a like just barely audible like sliding of metal over metal, and the aerolith that the egg house is on starts to spin a little bit as if the egg is kind of top heavy. Um, Aderon rolled very well, so it's able to like touch the thing that they touched last to make it stop.
Okay.
It stops exactly where it is. Um, with a little bit of experimentation, you find that this sort of meta representation of stuff outside um, actually allows you to control the local gravity and rotational field of this egg. You can make it move around, and you can put on the air brake and have it stick exactly where it is. Like there's some stuck force brake that you can engage.
Does that mean we basically have? Does that mean we have effectively a flying machine now?
Effectively have a flying machine now. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
I don't know it's going to hold all the horses and carts, but it will definitely hold pretty much anyone who wants to get in there.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. Um,
I'm going to add that to the caravan tab.
yeah.
Egg. I'd say it probably holds like 12 sacks.
Okay. Is there anything on the aerolith itself that seems worth bringing with us?
Not unless like goats.
Right.
But you know,
Goats and plants.
like goats and plants. Yeah, I think it takes a little bit of like it appears that whatever brought this here, like crashed it into that little bit of airlift. The ship, we'll say now, is completely undamaged by whatever impact happened.
Okay.
And you're able to kind of like nudge it out and get it. You're not
Okay.
stuck with a giant barnacle, basically.
Right. Um, I would suggest that we should use our various skills to check this out and see if we can communicate with the ship and if it is completely undamaged, which is Adron's way of saying that Alba Negra should check out the mechanics and
Mm-hmm.
um, other people should see if they can. I mean, at the moment, we know how to control and fly it, but just see if anybody has any insight into whether or not you can communicate with the ship and stuff.
No more than you can communicate with a cart.
Oh, okay.
It is some sort of magitech. It does fuck with stuck force to move around and stop, but there's no like intelligence or anything to it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we now have a flying egg ship. That's amazing.
Just as an aside, it probably bothers Fluffy because Fluffy can sense stuck force.
Yeah.
And this thing keeps adjusting the stuck force.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your airlift map. That was cool.
Yeah. Albanegra's pouting a little bit. She's like, I already have a flying ship. Well, I guess we fly down, which is a lot easier than climbing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Fancy.
Let's see.
Huh.
That is pretty cool. It's just I would just imagine I hope this thing has some kind of like we should probably at some point invest in like sensors to like attempt to like detect nearby like pieces of stuck force because we don't want to be tooling around at like 90 miles an hour and like slice into one.
It probably does detect that because it's manipulating the stuck force field.
Right.
The other thought I have is who would like a copper egg floating behind their mount? Because the easy way to have this move with us is just to create a stuck force connection between it and a mount.
Hmm. Hmm.
Unless someone wanted to like be in it and be flying around in it,
Yeah,
and then land when it's time. Then land it, or I
yeah.
mean, it was just hovering, right? Just
Yeah.
like have it hover like 10 feet above the ground.
Enron can do that. That's fine. Somebody else would have to drive the necro wagon. That's
Mm.
not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Spatula can do something. He doesn't have a specific mount
Oh,
that he.
Yeah.
I mean, Phaedrid's driving Betty.
yep. And Skelly's got his car, their car.
Hmm.
So you think Spatula can drive the egg, or you want Spatula on the necro wagon?
Whichever Aderon does not want. Spatula's not picky.
Okay. I mean, I think at this point, Aderon is very intrigued by this egg and the mental game that is required to fly it. So Aderon, at least for the moment, be like, oh, something to play with.
Yeah, and you're all the 23 or
Nice.
whatever, so you're
Nice.
it is no problem.
We've definitely been
started with these tools.
yeah, we've been really racking up the cool vehicles past
I
like,
know.
5 or 6 sessions.
Yep.
That's what happens when you go west. Cool. Where to next?
I have a
Think
question, just out of curiosity. Because it's been winter now, we're doing less traveling.
Hmm.
Those of us who drank the drink, are we
Hmm.
still fine? Are we feeling any weird urges to go back?
I mean, you feel it's not an urge necessarily. It's almost like something is gently tugging inside of you. It's not a compulsion yet,
Okay.
but just like
it's more like I'm
it's,
imagining
it's
that if you've
homesickness,
like
kind of.
Okay.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I imagine it's almost like if you've done a lot of traveling and there's this one city you went to and you just had an amazing time
Mhm.
and you just really and you're constantly thinking in the back of my mind like I wonder if I could retire there.
Yeah.
That's not so
Whether
bad. It's not so
whether that
bad.
was whether you just whether you fell in love with I don't know San Diego or Puerto
Mm.
Vallarta or Barcelona or something like that.
Okay, good to
Oh,
know.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just curious if that was going to manifest as something about like, man, you really need to make a trip back to the house. You're missing
So
it.
I do have a question about the other drink I took, which
Yeah.
was the one which gave one immortality.
Hmm.
Does that mean I won't die of natural causes, or does that mean that I won't die?
That you won't die.
Okay.
Yeah. The text specifically says like this is not a wish that you can like screw with. Like it just does the thing. No catches.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like, Tolkien elves, meaning that, you won't die of natural causes, but, you probably don't want to, like, cheat at poker with someone who's known to like shoot cheaters.
Right.
Next time, you climb up and anchor the ladder.
yeah, true.
I was under the assumption that I couldn't die of natural causes, not if I like got dropped to zero life. I'd like at some point later, I'd like, I like wake up.
Adrian is now all hazardous activity director.
Yeah, I'll do. Hey, look, I'll push the button. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Adrian, go see what's in that room. Come back and tell us.
Albanegro will make the point, pain still exists.
It does. It sure does.
He can't die, but he can probably scream a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I Dark Light Passage because that is the next montage place we need to visit.
Sweet. And so that's another, what is that, 2 weeks or 1 week?
That was a 2 week. Yeah, that's 2 weeks.
Cool. So
Yeah,
it takes
we gotta
about a
go
month
back.
to get all the way back there.
Yeah.
And so it is going to be Red Month. And yeah, so it is much the way you left it. Who hasn't made a let's make a discovery roll.
I'll do it.
Ooh.
I haven't done one in a while.
Go for it.
I will also point out that we can conceivably all pile into the egg to go.
To go right across rather than.
We'll follow the river.
Mm.
because we have to follow the river for okay, 10.
10. Um,
Right in the middle.
right in the middle. Yeah, so I think, I mean, you're gonna hear rumors of it, but since you have vehicles and dragons and whatnot, um, you are, again, it is spring again. Trade is picking up. I think the first batch of eager caravanners, like the paths are a little bit busier than they were in the fall. Not that it's crowded by any stretch of the imagination. It's just you run into more people now and then, and giving kind of like cautious inquiries about something that you would be looking for there, and following the river because you know where it is with the in the noosphere. It's hard to miss. Um, it leads you to there's uh, it's about it's a couple days south, right? Um, and it is up the side of the chasm, which is absolutely no problem for you all at this point. And in there is like the cave is whatever stone, like the limestone and whatnot that the walls are made of. But there is a lot of what looks like land coral growing in there, and it appears that it is centered around. There's like a larger cavern you go a little bit in, and there is a pool with a like it's kind of surrounded by coral, but there's also a large like coral statue in the middle? Question mark.
So Adoram will turn to Phaedrid. Phaedrid, does that statue have intentions?
It does.
Hmm.
It is there to guard the pool.
Okay.
Kelly.
Hey, Mark, welcome. Um,
We got a spaceship.
yeah, I was just typing that up. We found a we found a floating, basically, we found this like flying egg that acts as a that we now know how to control. So we now have yet another vehicle that Aderon is at the controls of.
Yeah, it's not like super super fast, but it will definitely get you there.
Yeah, I think did you say the did you say its speed was fast but not very fast?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And also, just we're kind of like uh, doing big macro montages of like we
Mhm.
go here. How does the whole thing turn out? So we're not like not a normal game. Since this is the last one where we spend the entire session in one location doing a thing.
Yeah.
So this statue is guarding the pool.
Mhm.
I will attempt to enter the I will attempt to enter the new using my Black City glove interface glove. I want to try to interface it. I want to try to talk to it.
Yeah, interesting. Give me an aura check.
Aura check. I
Yeah.
can do that. Back to the heroes tab. My aura is 4. Any of my skills are going to come into play here?
Mm,
I mean, the glove has scanned the noosphere at expert level.
yeah,
I've
let's
also
let's
got
add that.
wizard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this will be at plus 10,
Promising.
and I rolled a 4, so that's a 14.
14. Yeah, that'll get you the basics. Um, this is in fact a coral. You might describe it as a golem, but it definitely has more humanity to it than like a construct. Um, it is not the source of uh, the soul glow. It is kind of imbued throughout this pool. Um, what do you want to do to try to communicate with it? What do you want to say?
Um, well, I guess like reaching out through the new like reaching consciousness through the noosphere via the glove. Attempt to make contact with it. And I guess I don't know if this is a mind-to-mind communication or if it's I'm just going to try to get its attention there and speak. But
Mhm.
yeah, I want to just say hello. Hello there. We are we um you know hello. We mean no harm. But we would like to out of character. Let me step back just so I the player have a little better sense. So the consciousness that we had the giant spirit that we had detected here, it's not just it's in the pool
It
or
is kind of like
it's
imbued in the pool itself.
imbued into the pool.
Yeah. So we need to probably get it into the body that we have.
Yes. So I'll communicate to the guardian and say, hello, we are travelers and pilgrims who have been seeking out the soul that is in the pool. Do we have your permission to proceed?
You may leave an offering to motivation.
An offering. What sort of offering would be appropriate?
And you see like the pool is not incredibly deep, and you can see there are like little like tchotchkes and bracelets and little statues or whatever that people have thrown in there. So like trinkets, basically. Um, I think it can tell you that this is a holy site. People will occasionally come here and give offerings to motivation.
Um, what the hell? I've been carrying this around since my first adventure. An offering, you say? I open up my pack and God, I just want to get where's my items list? Here we are. I open up my satchel and I pull out a what appears to be a vertebra that is made out of some kind of black metal
Nice.
and says I've been hanging on to this for quite some time. It has some sentimental value, but yes, this is my offering and I'll toss it into the pool.
It thanks you for the offering.
Um, I guess at that, I will turn my attention to the soul that's in the pool, and I assume this thing is like lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's unclear exactly like what, like, is it the water itself? Is there something in the water? It's difficult to pin down. Just it's like staring at the sun and trying to see what's written on it, kind of.
Got it. Ooh, we do have that. We do have that ultra communicator and soul translator.
Ooh. And
This could be this could be interesting.
Well, and the soul may not have a ba associated with it. It might just be ka.
right,
So if it is just ka, you're not going to have a conversation with it in the way you're used to.
right.
I'm wondering if um, and we may have to go back down to get this, or we may have brought it with us in the ship, but the body, if we
Mhm.
bring the body to the soul,
Mm.
wondering what might happen if maybe nothing, but maybe they will be drawn to each other.
Um, yeah, I don't think anything happens without doing something. Yeah, there's no like instant attraction or anything.
Okay.
So, would there be some sort of like psychomagical ritual that we would could attempt to do to connect the soul to the body?
Yeah, you could try that.
Skelly, I know that you have your newfound secret elvish ways. Um, if when you look at this body and this soul, do they seem like they might fit each other?
They 100% do. Yes.
They certainly do. Um, how does the extent of my newfound knowledge cover this? Like
Um,
what needs to happen? Oh
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah. I think what you know is that the soul was taken by a shapeshifter, right?
Mhm.
And it kind of wound up here and melted down. So the water is basically the remains of the body of the shapeshifter that is still alive.
Mhm.
Um, it has it's unclear if it kind of like came here. No, I think it is clear. It came here because it knew that there was a being guarding this place, and
Mhm.
so it's basically like been here for a while it's over the ages trying to figure out or convince someone to get it back in shape.
Okay, so the rebuilder's soul is still in the shapeshifter's body, but the shapeshifter's body is basically
The pool,
dissolved like a
yeah,
pool.
Oh, so
Okay,
this is the
so
so this is the shapeshifter's soul.
right.
No,
So
shapeshifter's body.
yeah.
Oh,
Shapeshifter
okay.
stole the soul. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, okay. So I think I'll just relay the information to everybody. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that no, the soul's just not free floating. Like that's still the shapeshifter. We're gonna need to probably forcibly. I mean, yeah, this ain't gonna be easy.
I wonder if, says Aderon, I wonder if the rebuilder's soul is too much for the shapeshifter to maintain coherent form. And if we could potentially help it get form with a smaller soul.
Does the
Do you think
Well, that
shapeshifter,
that
like, if we were to remove the rebuilder soul somehow, would the shapeshifter cease to exist, or does it have its own soul?
um Skelly knows that it does not have its own soul, and that's why
Hmm.
it stole the rebuilders.
oh
Because
yeah, it
I,
doesn't.
because
so?
I have a way. I was thinking, like, if in maybe I've got part of the plan. Maybe one of you can do the rest. I was thinking, like, perhaps I could biomechanically set up some kind of filtering system so that we could pump water into the rebuilder body that would filter the soul from the body, but then that leaves the shapeshifter body with nothing, which I don't know if that's a thing we want to do.
Yeah. So Alba Negra pulls a little piece of obsidian out of her pouch and presents it to Skelly. And this is a Sajeda. And she's like, this is a sort of frozen soul. Would that be of any use?
Could we trade souls with the shapeshift?
Again, this is like a fossilized soul kind of, so it's not
Uh,
usable as an actual soul.
Gotcha.
mm, that doesn't mean. I mean, the shapeshifter doesn't know that.
Shapeshifter doesn't know that.
Hmm.
Maybe we could reconstitute it, rehydrate
Yeah. Skelly, you also know that attempting to uh, do anything but like bathe in the pool or give it offerings will have the guardian take action against those who would defile it.
Okay. Does the hmm, does the I mean, I don't know how we'd know this, but does the Guardian know that the so who put up the Guardian? Like, was the Guardian guarding something, and then the shapeshifter just kind of
Hmm.
like slithered its way in and was like, "Hey, I'm the pool," but the Guardian doesn't know that.
Yeah, you know that this pool was the home of a water nymph named Motivation, who went on to inspire the first builder and the first destroyer, all caps. Um, and the Guardian was put there in place by her. She is no longer around, but the Guardian has maintained the pool.
So basically, like the Guardian doesn't realize that maybe if we could convince, yeah, maybe if we could convince the Guardian that this pool has been co-opted, it might be of help to us.
Hmm.
I wonder, says Adron, do you think the rebuilder could possibly step in and convince the Guardian
I,
without screaming?
no, probably not without screaming.
Oh, no, without screaming. Yeah.
Well, that would be effective.
I think it is time. I have been holding off on talking to the rebuilder about our plan, but I think it is time that I should check in with the rebuilder and see what she thinks about having her soul and her body returned.
Yeah, I think it's no secret to Aderon that that would be fantastic. There it is. She is for it.
Is there any sign that she can convey to me that I can convey to this guardian of the original build
Mhm.
destroyer that will um, indicate that we are here to further the process?
I don't think it is that smart.
Okay.
While I was attempting to communicate with the Guardian, could I did I get a sense of like what its capabilities are or like what it is or what it does or
Yeah, it is probably is slightly less powerful than you are. And it is just a big smashy
so
coral
it
golem,
got it.
basically.
So it animated into like a big like basically a big like animated skeleton or an animated statue more or less
Yeah,
that would attempt to smash us to smithereens.
exactly.
Um, Albanegger wants to study it in the noosphere with her with perspective of being a Daemon warrior. She wants
Mhm.
to see if she might be able to
Hmm.
freeze it or stun it so that we don't actually have to fight it in the physical.
Um, yeah, it is not just like a construct golem. It does have a bit of like a soul attached to it,
Yeah.
probably what's binding to it. So it feels like that might be possible to attack it from the noosphere as well.
Okay. Because she doesn't want to hurt it.
Mhm.
Um, we're just trying to come up with some way to do this, ideally without damage to the
Ooh.
guardian at all.
I wonder I wonder if we could do this in the noosphere because I've got my ectoplasmic entanglement spell, which normally pulls strands out of the noosphere. But if could we conceivably, while in the noosphere, could we try to like immobilize, like, we try to like bind it
Mm.
for as long as for as long as we need to while we try while we try this ritual.
Yeah, I think that would be an overcharge on the spell. Gotta
Okay.
like make it
Okay.
go backwards. But yeah, if you want to roll to cast that, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay. I will do that. Um, Yeah. So I guess that's going to be a charisma roll. And I'm going to add wizard to that.
Yep.
So I'm at +9 on this roll.
And Alma Negra is going to assist because she's got a lot of.
Okay, I rolled a 19 on the dice,
That's
plus
nine.
another 9,
Yep, that will do it. That will definitely do it. Um,
and that
yeah.
was overcharged. So that's going to cost some life.
Hmm.
That is going to cost me 8 life.
That's worse than falling off an airlift.
Mhm.
Great. What does it look like when? So usually you pull the strands out of the noosphere. Like, are you pulling something from the
So
world
I
into
think
the
what
noosphere?
so
Or
I
just,
think what happens. What I'm imagining is I'm like like almost like like a 90s like a 90s cyberpunk
yeah.
like in the net. So Phaedron's like projecting his consciousness into the noosphere and he's casting the spell from within the noosphere.
Hmm.
So, and kind of like instead of like pulling the strands from the noosphere into the real world, he's like grabbing the strands and like is binding the spirit of the guardian within the noosphere.
Yeah, and I think you're able to do that because it has a soul attached. The bindings on it in the noosphere are preventing it from motivating the body in the real world. So it may be active and angry and wishing you harm, but as long as you hold that spell up, it will not be able to act on it.
That is what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do for the rest of for the duration of this ritual. Is I'm going to like stay here. I'm going to try to like continue to hold those bindings.
Cool. Tell me about this ritual you want to do.
Kelly?
Well, basically, we're just trying to transfer souls, right? Without the and Phaedra's holding the guardian. So,
Mhm.
um, I guess that's what we're doing.
You're transferring the soul where?
So from the pool or the shapeshifter to the rebuilder's body, I guess.
Fantastic. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like psychomagic for sure. So
100%.
that's gonna be a charisma plus wizard, probably, right? Or a necromancer.
With the necromancer?
I was
Yeah.
going to say this
Okay.
sounds like necromancy to me.
Sure does.
So let's see, necromancer is 6, 7, 8. So I'm rolling with a +8 here. Let's see what I get.
Oh, nice.
25 will
Nice.
definitely do
25.
it. So what does it physically look like as you're drawing the soul from the shapeshifter into the giant body of the rebuilder?
I mean, do souls don't have a physical manifestation outside of this here, right? Like it's not visual.
Usually not, but
Okay.
weird things
I
happen.
think it's more like Skelly's doing some like weird like hand gestures. I'm gonna describe it like if anybody has seen somebody turn like raw wool into like
Mhm.
yarn, like fiber, where it's like pulling and like it's kind of twisting. So I think there's like this sort of like almost like a heat mirage in the air,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, and
I've got
it's
like a
got this
I'm
weird.
almost imagining that you've I'm almost imagining that you've like at least conjured like this like a spinning wheel made of bone.
Something, yeah.
Fucking A, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and
If
you know,
if that's
Skelly
okay.
being, oh yeah, for sure. Skelly being the way it is, probably doing a little jig or something alongside it because they're all silly like that. Um, and yeah, and is pulls the soul of the rebuilder out of the pool and into the body
Yeah, and kind of like
of
weave
the
it
rebuilder.
into the stitch it into the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Um, yeah.
Aderon has a slight addition to this. Skelly, can you take a portion of my soul and weave it back into the shapeshifter so that it has a soul?
If you, I mean, if you want to part with part of yeah, then no, all right.
Okay. So I'm gonna donate and you can tell me if this makes sense, Mark, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
donate some of my experience points to the shapeshifter so the shapeshifter can have a bit of soul.
Hmm.
At least
Um,
first level, but I'm willing to go higher.
I think instead of XP, I think that would actually be draining aura, which since you are at 0,
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be 4 life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's permanent?
Yeah, that'll take it off the max, I think.
A paltry price to pay.
Yeah.
The way I did that mechanically in the keeper, not that it necessarily matters because this is our last session. In your max life, just like type of my like there's a formula in there. Just put -4.
Yeah. Aderon's already got a -2, so I will turn that to a -6.
Nice.
Oh, that's smart. Instead of overriding the formula, even better.
Um, Skelly, what so as you draw, like as you're doing that soul transference, something coalesces into the water, which is clearly the physical form of the actual shapeshifter itself. What does that look like? And this is something that stole the soul of the rebuilder.
Oh gosh. Um, I mean, I would, if it's not already naturally just a pool of goop,
Mm.
then um, uh, is the sh would the shapeshifter have been like originated from like somewhere on the grasslands, or is it like extraterrestrial or?
Probably. I think that's up for debate. Yeah. Oh, well, you know. So what would you say it is? That's right.
That's
I
right,
mean, I
Mr.
guess
Perfect
shape.
Knowledge.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's not. It wouldn't be too terribly strange for there to be shapeshifters
Yeah.
on from the grasslands. So yeah, I imagine it's maybe since most beings seem to be humanoid in some way. It's probably got like a humanoid shape of some kind. Um, Maybe it's kind of got like long Gumby arms or and
Mhm.
long Gumby legs, so like a little bit taller, disproportionate. Well, from what we imagine,
Yeah.
we feel like is symmetrical. Um, so kind of weird, creepy looking. I still think it's kind of goopy in terms of texture and
Yeah.
substance.
And I think it just like it is still kind of adapting to its new situation, and I think it's just kind of like curled up at the bottom of the pool. It seems to be
Fetal position.
fine, yeah, but it might take a while to recover this trauma.
So Aderon will actually shapeshift and curl around it as
Mhm.
part of the process, and basically we'll leave it with um, hmm, oh, Aderon will leave enough of their own body there so that they can be connected through the noosphere.
Nice.
And Aderon will, assuming Aderon survives, which is doubtful, but um, Aderon will check in through the noosphere with the shapeshifter to try to give it guidance as it grows.
Cool. Yeah. It'll
Aderon's
probably
possible.
take quite some time, but you
Yeah.
can keep an eye on that. Great. You have the rebuilder's soul woven into the rebuilder's body. Where to next? And we don't need to go stop by stop. If we want to skip around a little bit, we can just add the time up and do that.
Well, I'd be I'd be open to sending Weston back into the abyss. My one zombie pal.
Nice. Easily done.
And that's a place we haven't seen yet. So.
I'm sorry, to where?
The leering abyss, was it?
The
I think
Okay.
Leering
that's what it's
Biz.
called.
Um, did I say something like that?
You
The Leering Abyss. Oh yeah. It's the Leering Abyss. That's right. Yes. Okay, I know what that is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely know
what
that.
map what map no location was that at?
That is in the Ivory Plane.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's in the direction we're heading.
yeah, it is. Um,
I mean, we have several different vehicles and different ways of getting there safer than most people.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It is about a week off the trail, which again, not a big deal here in the spring. Um, you know what, Skelly, this place is interesting to you because it is kind of a black hole, and you don't know much about it, which is odd.
Oh no, my knowledge.
Um, you are able, you know where it is though. You are able to find it. Um, and it is, off to the north of the Ivory Plain in the Sea of Grass, and it is very easy to see. People probably don't go this way often, but it is a large, like black glassy stain on the
Hmm.
earth. Um, as you approach, it is daytime, but the closer you get, the sky kind of fades away. Not necessarily into night, just like you see stars. And as you get closer, the ground also begins to fade away, revealing cold, sharp stars.
Hmm.
And there's no sound within it. Um, as you approach, the edges are of the stain are littered thick with travelers' bones, mostly in some sort of peaceful pose. Um, it looks like a lot of them brought stuff with them and sat down and did nothing. Um, what do you want to do here?
I think I'll turn to Weston, my zombie friend, and be like, you want me to just push you in? Like, what's the deal here?
Yeah, I can just sit down and let it take me.
Oh, like it has some sort of active component.
When you look at it, the infinity of darkness will look back at you. You see everything, and everything is so vast that you kind of sublimate into it.
You want me to release you? Like,
If
I mean,
if you can.
probably.
Yeah, you can do that easily.
All right, I'll just be like, all right, you just get yourself comfortable, whatever kind of repose you would like to be forever in, and I'll let you go.
Yeah. He sits down in the pose you found him in.
All right, I'll release my hold on it on him.
Yeah, and he instantly just slips away.
Does his okay? What is it's the Ka, right? The Ka is the soul.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I detect whether his Ka like goes into the abyss or anything, or
Yeah, it
where it
is
ends?
gone.
Oh, like all right. So basically, it's just like everything around looks like a field of stars except for this void.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you haven't gone fully into it as the ground has started disappearing
No, definitely not.
out of caution, if nothing else. You are
Yeah, I
welcome
mean, I
to,
think,
but
I mean, Skelly might have been a little naive in the past, but I think at this point, it's got a little bit more caution under it. Um, but this is fascinating, however. Um, is there is there any way for me to, I don't know, how could I learn more about this? 'Cause I think Skelly is a little bit like shocked at that having even now been so used to having so much knowledge at immediate access to not know something about this.
yeah. Give me a thought roll.
All right. 322.
Okay. Um, what does Skelly believe in?
Throwing the hard questions here. Um, I mean, if we're talking about a afterlife or metaphysical level, I don't know if Skelly believes in anything. I think Skelly would be the kind of, or at least is the kind of person now that would reserve would reserve belief until some kind of information or evidence has been presented. But I think so. I guess Skelly is the equivalent of an agnostic. Like anything is possible, but like, until I know something, I can't say one way or the other. So
Yeah, I think that agnosticism, as you kind of examine and turn this abyss over in your mind, that agnosticism becomes icy and falls away to a certainty that there is nothing to believe in. Any anything that you may have thought could be a point of faith that you could hang on to, or at least turn over and examine in your skepticism, you know that those are false. Basically, the abyss has revealed to you that you are trapped in a meaningless cycle of death and rebirth. And not only is there no escape from it, but there's no meaning to it. It just is a thing that happens.
I feel like the Black City might have a different opinion. All right, so Skelly's discovered nihilism. Good to know.
But is certain of it. It is the abyss has revealed that that is the only. It's not even rational. It's just the only option available.
All right.
Anyone
Skelly's
else
not
want to look into the abyss?
Gaze not into the abyss, lest the abyss gaze also into the.
Yeah, it's definitely gazing into the.
Yeah. Does Adron sense a powerful soul presence with the abyss?
No, the complete absence.
Complete absence. Okay. Interesting.
Can I get a thought roll from Aderon?
Not too close. Okay. 21. 21.
Yeah, that similar. As you're searching for evidence of a soul in there, it's almost like getting that broad focus, but distinct focus on each of the stars. You can see the fast and slow stars, like spinning through space and the noosphere above and below you, and everything that you think is a soul, including your own and those of your companions and the rebuilder even, is just like a sharp light that can't exist in whatever is inside the abyss. It's like the souls are stars, and something about the knowledge that the abyss is just shocking into you makes it feel less special, like they're stones.
Right. Okay. So Aderon pauses for a moment and then smiles and looks at Skelly. That was refreshing. Because Aderon sees the situation as the abyss is sharing its perspective. And as Aderon is not a part of the abyss, Aderon does not have to have the same perspective. Aderon knows that if Aderon enters the abyss, that'll be it. But there are still stars out there. So,
and I think Aderon also understands that the rebuilder is a parasite that is, feeding on souls spirits where it is, but also like using you. You are the last in a line of insects it has been using to rebuild itself.
Yeah. Adoran's okay with that. Adoran's got a lot of uh, I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, Adoran has a lot of it. So, and Adoran pats Skelly on the back because Adoran's like, "Yep, very refreshing."
I don't
um,
know. I suppose there's something comforting in knowing that nothing has meaning.
Well, I think I have meaning now, and you have meaning now, and I do not think that even though there might be an ultimate truth to what the void says, that ultimate truth does not deny that these other things, however meaningless they are to the void, still exist, whether they are points of light or merely insects manipulating smaller insects. There's still an interesting story that we live. And Aderon nods their head and just moves on.
Well, either way, I would like to be away from here.
It
Yeah,
is a bit
Phaedra
refreshing.
did not like this place at all.
no pondering the void.
Not pondering the void.
So I have a question. Does the gauntlet have negative reactions to being close to the void?
Do you care to check?
I am. I think Phaedra is. I think Phaedra like sees sees the void sees the void over there. I think Phaedra knows enough that he's that being curious about that sort of thing is dangerous,
Mhm.
and I don't think he wants to probe it with the gauntlet.
Yeah, I
Wise.
wasn't even
If
suggesting.
if anything, if it's got a power button, he'd like power it down for a little bit while he's here.
Good idea.
Power it up again when we're like sufficiently far away, because because like voids and abysses, that's the thing that like they can send tendrils back into you.
They sure
Right,
can.
right. So as Aderon comes up to the rest of the party, Aderon says, "Well, pretty soon we shall go try to bring back the parasite without any explanation."
That's disconcerting.
Um, cool. Where do we want to stop next?
So I think I don't necessarily think we want to have scene here, but just I think like just like montage scene of the caravan at Spectrum Palace. Phaedra
Mhm.
doing some like wheeling dealing, selling the stuff we bought selling the stuff, like buying like selling stuff, buying stuff,
Yeah,
reflect like buying more supplies, that sort of things to like press on.
yeah.
Probably be good to check back in with our trading post. That's where the autofac is too, right? In the
Mhm.
basement of the mole
Well,
rats.
Oh no, we haven't gotten that far yet. Where
Okay.
that's Spectrum Palace.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I expect
But then
as
from there,
another
I think we
destination.
from there, yeah, from there, let's go to Behemoth Shell and check in with them.
I'll
and
send
like Alba has to drop Glorious, her former body, off
Mhm.
at the Spectrum Palace and explain that Glorious is conceivably missing a soul
Mhm.
and a Bahanaka. But she's very pretty. Oh, I actually, although I took some photos of a picture downtown in Sarasota, or took some photos of a window dressing downtown in Sarasota that has some mannequins with bright flowers coming out of their heads, and so I will share it sometime. It
Nice.
just looks so much like a crystal being in a certain abstract sense.
Fantastic. Cool. It's just about 2 months out from the Spectrum Paris Palace to get back to the Behemoth Shell.
Okay,
That'll take us to the middle of Orange Month.
okay.
Super easy travel. It's again, you've traveled here before. You have folks along the way. Um, you know, how to make enough money to get by and then some. Um, and in the as kind of the pleasant part of early summer is wrapping up, you pull into the Restful Pines. What is it? The
Yeah, with full
Yeah,
pines.
Restful
Restful Pines?
Pines.
Hey, it's this
Um,
place.
yeah, it's this place. No, Dan. Can I get you to roll a d20 for me?
Time to see how our business has been doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can I help?
Does this, I don't suppose there's anything that comes into play here, is there?
No.
Oth- Other than maybe hero dice, which I've got 5 of, and I'll use them. Ooh,
Ooh.
19.
19.
And you know
Fantastic.
what? I'm gonna use a hero die because I got them. And I really will, and we had a real bad, the last business roll was a really fucking long time ago, but it was not good.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Uh,
Two in a row.
oh,
Two times
sorry,
in a
that was
row.
the wrong die. Ignore that. All right, that's 3. So 22.
22.
22.
Not bad. Um, yeah. So who did you leave in charge of the place? Running the place.
I forgot. Who
Who was
was it?
that? Who was that?
Okay. We've done so much since then.
Yeah, I know. That was, I mean, real time. That was real time.
Was it was it
That was like a
like
couple of months
was it
ago.
like was it Mook or like an ogre or orc or
That
something?
was in the
Yeah,
last Sarai.
yeah.
That
The
was
last Sarai has the ape accountant and the orc.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know there was someone we left in charge here,
Yeah,
but I
we
cannot
left
remember
an
who it was.
NPC there, and I
Yeah.
Yeah.
took them off, and I took them off the list because I took them off our NPC, like people with the caravan, because I didn't want to like have to spend supplies for them.
Right.
Let me hop over to the NPC chart.
I cannot remember.
I do not remember.
We've forgotten our employees.
I know.
It
But they
wasn't it
haven't
wasn't
forgotten you.
it wasn't Anonymous, the gorilla. He was back farther
Yeah, that was
with
Sarai.
our other interest. God, I know we left somebody there. I don't remember
Yeah, I remember
who.
that too, and I have
Um,
no memory of it.
and it wasn't the mole rats, although they're also there.
They're also
Yeah.
there, just
But no, they were
brewing.
definitely doing their own thing. They were not involved in our trading post.
Hmm.
Who was it? Uh,
Um, Regardless, whoever it was, um,
Who
and
has not been recast.
there's now been recast, new actor, third time, and things have been going well recently. Um, at the start of winter, things had been going very poorly, and in fact, there was a new representative of the butcher bank come down to like collect interest and or foreclose. Um, they did not make it through the winter. In fact, their body is posted outside the trading posts as a warning. And a small cult has kind of sprung up. Um, One of the last trade runs came back with a relic. Um, it was a like in the onion style, like basically like a golden calf, but like in a very like almost Art Deco kind of way. Um, and the folks there say that once they had brought it back, um, no one wanted to trade it away. And in fact, they say it grants them visions and prophecies and nightmares. Um, and as they have kind of like become a little bit more intense. But trade has been actually good. You got like a overall like 40% profits. Probably still not enough to cover the loan, but you are making money. There are not only like people coming to trade more often, but it is kind of a site of a pilgrimage.
Well,
Uh,
that's cool.
yeah.
So we've been paying off the debt.
I think you have warned them off of the debts.
Oh, okay.
unless they want to send like more violent resources. I think the butcher bank relies a lot on kind of intimidation and short, sharp bursts of violence, and that did not work out great for them here.
Okay. So turning a profit,
Yeah, they're
being
turning a
profitable.
profit. They may in the future at some point try to come collecting. Unclear how that's going to go for them, but things are going well, if a little bit dark.
Okay. Going well, but a little bit dark has kind of been the name of our business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at Blissful Pines, Alba Negra is probably going to leave the caravan. I don't know if anybody else is going to leave the caravan, any NPCs, but
Mm,
um, this is where her laboratory, like she was working on something for laboratory. Of
right.
course, she hopes to someday be able to heal the autofact.
Hmm. Hmm.
Also, she now has a whole bunch of new biomechanical engineering techniques, and she needs a lab to experiment with them.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are Albanegger's nightmares like?
Um, that's a good question. So, because she is more peaceful and people seem to like her, even if she doesn't make any effort, it's still confused by
Yeah.
that. But
She is immediately welcome anywhere she goes.
yeah, and uh, I think her nightmares at the moment revolve around whether or not becoming a legumen means that she will like how that changes her consciousness. Will she eventually grow out of her armor and her consciousness will spread?
Mm,
And she's also, because she spent time learning about shared consciousnesses and stuff, she's still interested in it, but she's also a little bit worried about um, becoming more plant-like and having less ability to do experiments and work on machines and stuff.
right. Right. Those nightmares are actually prophetic and will start becoming
Yeah.
truth.
You know, she's going to get as much done as she can before that happens.
Nice. Um, great. Anyone else want to do stuff there before heading back?
I
I
don't.
think
I mean, other than like routine, like buying, selling,
Yeah.
trading,
Yeah.
like resupplying our caravan, blah blah blah, which we do. I don't think Phaedrid has any particular business here, other than like I guess he might like go like I guess one thing he'll do is like talk with our accountant and like go over the books and make sure
Mhm.
everything looks good.
Yeah, things look
Figure
correct.
out Yeah, figure out how much, figure out how much profit we have, just in case, like just in case the butcher bank sends someone after like me, so I know,
Hmm. Hmm.
how much we actually owe, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because I'll just tell you, Phaedrid is intending to eventually return to the Violet City after doing a couple of other things
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah. I think and Skelly can probably back this up. The Butcher Bank has not entirely written this off, but they are keeping an eye on the situation from a respectful distance. And if it appears that there is an opportunity to uh, do a hostile takeover, they might. It is a bit out of the way, so as you continue to turn profits, they will probably begin paying more and more attention. I don't know that they're going to go after you individually.
Okay.
We could actually pay them.
I was gonna say we could start pay. I mean, we could just start paying them.
Good.
I mean, we've been, like I said, I mean, I know our plan was that while we were gone, everything we were making was, well, not
It's just
everything, but it was all going back
like
to,
most
yeah,
of the profit was going back to pay off the loan.
Hmm.
aside from operating costs and maybe a little extra or whatever.
Yeah.
Like paying paying our employees a salary.
Yeah, I mean, basically all profits were going back to paying.
Hmm. I mean, you think with all of that, with a steady stream coming back, they wouldn't have resorted to some sort of violent. They would have been, oh, like they're actually paying it back. Okay,
Well, I mean that's the butcher part of the butcher bank.
Yeah.
gotcha.
I'm
And
imagining what was his I'm imagining what was his name, like Daniel Day-Lewis's character from Gangs of New York,
Yeah.
the butcher.
Um, yeah, if you like want to keep funneling profits towards them, that will definitely like reduce their
I think
Right.
eventually, I mean, we made this deal in good faith, so
yeah.
I think we do want to I think the intent is to continue to pay off the loan,
Mhm.
although if they're going to start like squeezing us for like exorbitant fees, like, well, maybe we'll fight back on that. Like we'll pay back, like, we'll pay back the principal plus a reasonable amount of interest, but if they're like trying to
Yeah.
squeeze us for like 400% interest, like, no.
I
Yeah.
If that
think if
happens,
they like pull any shit or pull any violence or whatever, that we take care of it and then we send them back like an amended bill that's like,
Mhm.
oh, we reduced our the amount we sent you by 500 for the violence we had to or the for we
the
bill
cost in
yeah
defeating the goons you sent after us,
yeah
we've
Yeah.
deducted that from this month's payment.
to try to discourage them from such future tactics because like, hey, we're giving you money every month, but if you're gonna fuck with us, we're gonna fuck with you back.
Yeah. I think they took the initial violence to heart and
I mean, do you want us to pay you a visit?
Send a picture of the caravan with the scallywagon and the spaceship and the dragon and the bear man and the radiation gun and, and Phaedra doing some crazy wizard shit.
Mhm.
amazing. Great. Do we want to make the next stop back to the last Sarai? Take about a month to get back there.
So I guess we will not resolve the whole auto fax situation.
No, that will definitely take more effort for sure.
Yeah, from there, I think like from there, from there, let's like go to the last Sarai, see how our outpost there is doing.
Cool. Let's go ahead and take a break till like 40 after, and we'll
Sure.
come back and do that part. Do it. Cool. So it takes a month or so of travel, but you arrive back at the last Sarai, where that outpost is going just great. It's smaller, less ambitious, but Pookie is there still, or Mook is still there,
yeah,
at New York, and the other person who Ananas, the
yeah, the gorilla.
accountant gorilla,
Yeah.
everything they're locking it down. Um,
Nice.
yeah, tell
Yeah, I mean,
me.
Shadowrun wants to spend some
Sorry,
time.
did you say the accountant gorilla?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct, sir.
We
Okay.
yes, early on, like in like
In the Violet
I don't
City, I
know,
think.
yeah, like way back in the Violet City, like way back in like session 2 or 3 of this session, we had a friendly encounter with a with Ananas, who's an uplifted gorilla who
Mhm.
was also an
Mhm.
accounting expert. So he was our so
I believe that was a
yeah.
result of carousing, right?
Yes, that's right. It was a successful carousing roll.
Yeah.
He joined the party, and he also had a cart full of bananas that that became ours. So we like sold those, and
Okay.
we took him on. I think it was one of our. He was among the first NPCs that were
I
part of
think
the
he was
party.
maybe the first. Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're definitely holding it down.
cool.
And it is summer, and the Sarai is hopping.
So one dangling plot thread that we haven't gone back to in a long time was that like I'm trying to remember as a player because this was like 6 or 8 months ago, real
Mhm.
time. What was the did the whole thing of that silver foam goo pool, did that ever fully get resolved?
Not on screen, no.
Okay.
But Skelly can tell you all about it.
Right.
And so I do
Yeah,
through the mouthpiece
so he
of
does.
Mark.
Yeah, basically you sold some to the satraps. They used it to create basically a cloaking device for their walkers in the area. The princes, porcelain princes, um, found the location. I think because you told them where it was, or there was some,
I think we told them where it was at some point.
and they went
If I
and
remember correctly, we were trying to play both sides against the middle for a while.
yeah,
We were trying to like, get the princes and the satraps to like be very concerned with each other, and they were going to like try to sell stuff to both sides.
yeah. Princes mined it all out, and they don't know what to do with it, so they're slowly selling it off. Um, yeah, that's mostly it.
Got it.
How are Anise and Basil doing?
Um, Good as ever. They're still doing their biomancy thing.
Okay.
I'm guessing that now, and I'm guessing that since we are now at the last Sarai, where the Forbidden Tower is, guessing Adoran might want to have a convo and like with the entities therein, especially since we now have a body plus soul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean we are very close, and of course Adoran's been checking in on the rebuilder periodically.
Yeah, I think as you're checking in, their screams are becoming more insistent. There's a greater pull. Like even if you wanted to stop, it would be very painful to do so, I think.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So what's your plan for that?
So I think, having spent time in the tower myself, albeit not physically, that it might make sense to fly the body up to the top of the tower,
Mm.
of the balconies, and proceed from there. Is there anyone who would like to come with me on what might prove to be a suicide mission?
Oh boy,
You're
Phaedra is tempted.
really, you're really selling that.
I mean, Phaedra can't die, so
True.
I was going to say, the knowledge the knowledge that the what's his name, like Captain Chaos, what was his name, the
The
entity that
chaos
was
of
like making the
possibility, I
seals,
think.
the
the lacquered chaos of possibility.
lacquered chaos of possibility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
the
knowledge that lacquered chaos of possibility gave Phaedrid is that Phaedrid can't die. At the same
Oh
time,
yeah.
like directly dealing with an entity like the Rebuilder is extraordinarily dangerous.
But slightly less dangerous than interfacing directly with the city. So
Hmm.
I think Phaedra will board the will board the flying egg. And I guess we'll load the Rebuilder's body onto the, or for that matter, I mean, could we just like walk the next? Oh well, it's just the egg. Yeah, I guess we'll load the we'll load the body of the new Rebuilder's
I
body into the egg. And
Actually, it's been there ever since we did the soul transfer.
okay,
I'm curious, Mark, if Spatula's human library trait, which again, it's a field of long ago knowledge is stored in your mind. You can only access it subconsciously.
right.
I'm just wondering if Spatula has any particular urge to go or to not go based on that.
I don't think he does. I think he knows, like, kind of has a background knowledge of like myth, but yeah, there's not a strong feeling one way or the other.
So Skelly, how much does Skelly know about the rebuilder now that Skelly knows all the stuff?
I mean, Skelly knows that she was, had her soul and body taken was trapped here and has been screaming and killing anything that looks at her ever since. She was a demiurge that was involved in building the world.
So about as much as anybody else at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, Phaedrid
I think
will
Skelly would want to go.
Yeah.
Cool. All the whole gang then. Great. So the tower is still screaming, so looking at it will still turn you to dust.
Right. Well, we're going to come from the backside.
Yeah, which would be bad for Phaedrid, especially, I think.
Yeah, we're not going to go. Yeah, we're not going to go in the direction that the screams go from. We're
Yep.
going to go from the other side.
Um,
Because even though Phaedrid can't die, I think Phaedrid's body can like do bad things can
Still-
happen to Phaedrid's body, and it would really hurt.
your
And if
soul
you can't
can't
die,
stay
Still
that would
disintegrate.
and that's going to be a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Aderon can give you a preview of that.
yeah. So how are you rejoining them?
Well, so the first thing is Aderon would, with the help of the others, bring the body into what I assume is the chamber where the Rebuilder Spa is.
Yeah, it's like a weird like lighthouse,
Yeah,
like a death lighthouse.
yeah. My friend in her death lighthouse. And just in the noosphere, basically check and see if she's okay with the body as it is.
It's perfect. Exactly as she left it.
More or less true, although not quite right, but Skelly, I do not wish to always burden you with work, but is it possible that you could move this very large ba into this body with a ka and a ha?
Well, I mean, any practice I get with my necromancy is worthwhile. So yeah, let's do it. However, I will do so also if you agree to teach me how to fly this thing.
I will. Is your mind good at memorizing patterns of seemingly randomly stacked dice and also other objects?
I think it is now.
Excellent. We shall have great fun flying through the stuck force.
Awesome. Skelly, give me a charisma plus necromancer roll.
So my charisma is 2.
And I'm assuming Aderon is helping by basically keeping the Rebuilder as calm as possible and bringing in the wisdom of the grasslands. I don't remember the grasslands name, but all of that sort of piece.
Right.
That was a 23.
A 23. Yeah, that definitely does it. It is easier than you thought it would be. It is, this is a big soul. This is a big spirit. This is a big body. But there is, it's not like an attraction necessarily, but there's a sympathetic resonance that makes it very easy for these things to fall together.
They vibe. They
do vibe together. And the eyes of the body open up, like 6 eyes down the front of the face.
Now let's just hope this thing doesn't immediately destroy us.
The screaming stops, and I think Aderon has been like background noise, just dealing like the worst tinnitus you can possibly imagine, and now it has stopped. And there is like a physical sense of peace and relief. And the Rebuilder stands up, drawing, I think this is the first time you've really seen this body like stand and be inhabited. And it is it doesn't look like it has changed physically, but there's definitely a presence as it kind of like stands and the way it positions itself. That this is something very few people have actually witnessed. Um, and she speaks out loud. She says that she has been here, and Skelly, this is a review for you. She's been here for centuries and millennia, trapped here, prevented from rebuilding a civilization that summoned her from the upper voids long, long ago. That civilization has risen and fallen, and you were the first ones who treated her like something besides a tool or a curse. And everyone there, she offers to restore something that has been broken or lost to you. A doll, a family home, a city ground to dust by the stone dragon that eats the night. Whatever you like.
Hmm. Um, so did Skelly's memory come back with the perfect knowledge or no?
It your memory didn't come back, but you know what happens.
Okay.
It's like third
Yeah,
hand
those are
knowledge
two
of what
different
happened to you.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think Skelly would ask for its memory back.
Yeah. Um, it comes flooding back, and every time that you have been resurrected, that that gap is sealed. And it has been a loop of you like traveling back and forth, eventually wind up in the Black City, going through that portal, being in a ship at the top of the needle of the world and coming down, crashing into the Circle Sea, being recovered, being reanimated, being used for whatever purpose, gaining your independence again, and restarting as your body, slowly gets built up again before going back and then being destroyed again. It's maybe the memory loss was part of the resurrection. Maybe it was partly to shield you from that, because it is a painful memory of falling to the earth over and over again
from orbit.
from orbit, basically. But you remember it all.
Oh shit. How many times has this happened?
Um, that is an interesting question, since it is a basically some sort of time loopy kind of thing. Always.
Okay. Is this just something I am stuck in, or is like everything stuck in
This is something
this?
that you are stuck in.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, that's helpful knowledge.
Well, at least perhaps you'll now with this knowledge, perhaps you'll be able to figure out how to break the time loop.
Yeah, just
You
what I
did
think.
not take the final drink, right?
I did not take the final drink.
Okay.
Do
You
I know
know
what that means?
that if you did, it would break the loop.
Ah, shit. Guess who's going back to the Black City
Well, I
again?
mean, Phaedra is eventually planning on going back. It just might be a while. What does Phaedra want that was broken?
Broken or lost?
Broken or lost? I think I only vaguely mentioned it a couple of times when talking about Phaedra's past. But I think I think Phaedrad's like family business, family fortune had
Mhm.
like I think his father had mismanaged things and the family business had fallen apart, which is why he got the job with Onerix and was like trying to like return to a return to a uh, return to a higher status of living that he had remembered from a childhood before his father like lost the family business. And
So your
so
fortune and status.
yes, I'd like a return. I would, yeah, I would like my I would like my family business to be restored, and I to be the head of it.
It is done.
Thank you.
And I think with that comes like you have knowledge of account numbers and banking codes and contacts, and you know where the house that you grew up that was probably lost is, and it is kitted out to your specifications.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. The question is, what does Aderon want?
Heath, if you would like to go, I'm having a hard time coming up with the.
I had to. We got spatula and Modan. Spatula, I think, is a little easier because I think the first spatula was like, well,
You haven't really lost much.
I haven't really been around. But he's like, well, supposedly, when I drank that drink, I lost something. So I'm not exactly sure aware of what that is, but I know there was a price for drinking the drink that I supposedly lost a piece of myself.
Oh yeah, you lost a bit of your soul by drinking the drink, right?
Yeah.
You can get that back. Is that what you want?
That's the only thing he's ever lost.
I think that's just another point of aura back then because you just lost one, right?
I can't remember honestly. I was
Yeah, because
trying.
we periodized it down.
Yeah,
Yeah, a bit of your soul is restored.
yeah.
You've built.
I
More
feel
win
even
from
more
nothing.
complete now. And with Modan, honestly, I'm just sitting here the whole time thinking too. I was like, I don't think Modan lost anything except that. That's the only thing I can think of this entire adventure that Modan lost was whatever. Which again, I can't remember even exactly what he lost when he drank his drink. And it was a bit of some. I don't remember, but that's literally the only thing I can think of. Modan's, I guess, had a pretty good life.
What was that?
Can you take a rain check?
Well, I mean, like I said, I guess he could get. Do you remember what
I
he lost from
let me
drink?
check back at the Black City here.
Was it
Um,
always aura?
no, it each
No,
one was a different.
Oh yeah.
Let's
no,
see.
mine was agility, but my agility was always at 0,
Uh,
so that went off of life instead.
I'm like
But I
looking
only
what.
lost a point, so I'm not going to
Yours
bother with
was
that.
yours was strength. Skelly's was agility, and
Oh,
Modan's was aura. Yeah.
no, it's charisma.
Oh, is that? No, wait.
Aldenegger's was charisma.
Yeah.
Um,
Mine was aura. Modan's was aura.
yeah, Skelly's was agility. Yours was aura.
I mean, I guess if we can get that point of aura back.
Yeah, take it
And
back.
I'm guessing it was only since I still have an aura of two, I probably hero diced it to where it was only one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and she like turns to Aderon and says, "You have been the architect of my reconstruction more than anyone else. So whenever you ask, it's yours."
What would you like to restore?
I have nothing of my own to restore. I'm back the way I was. You restored me.
I have somebody who needs something. So when we got your body back, we did so from um, the astral
The lizard.
lizard, and it is currently trapped. Quite ironically, because it is trapped retelling your story over and over again.
Hmm.
Um, I wonder if there is a way to free the lizard. I did tell it that we would seek to free it.
You want my body's thief's freedom restored?
Hmm, that is awkward.
But if that's what you wish, I'll do it.
For what it's worth, none of us think it's a good idea. If you trust in us, Modan, Aderon.
Aderon, yeah, that creature was pretty darned evil.
It is not
Or at
evil.
least maybe not evil. That creature was incredibly
They
dangerous.
called it the Devourer. Was that it?
The Devourer,
Yeah.
yes, that's what they called him.
Hmm.
I can restore the Devourer's freedom if you wish.
Don't think that's a good idea.
May I just offer that Aderon has lived a pretty selfless life. You have given much to everyone in this caravan. You've given much to the rebuilder. And I, as your friend, have observed you for quite some time now, trying to restore your own flesh as clay as it once was. I would interject that while you may not think to ask for that, being such a selfless entity, that your actions, as observed by us over quite some time now, would indicate that that is a thing you truly want.
Another possibility would be your memories from what happened, your memories of your existence from before we crossed paths. Because when we met you, you were not entirely a blank slate, but you were um but your memories of your existence prior to that point had been taken. Do you I suppose I'm guessing that she could restore those should you wish them to, should you wish her to.
I would say that I have been quite satisfied by my journey so far, and I find myself with a new body that is also um, enjoyable in its multiplicity of form. And when I first met you, I was seeking to recover the past, but I have learned that perhaps it is the journey forward that is really the enjoyable um, experience.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Is it possible that you could give the astral devourer um, 1 week off for every 4?
I don't know that that's something that it had before. It's not something that it lost.
True, true. Hmm. Something that's lost. Um, my difficulty is that I am satisfied with where I am, so there is very little to retrieve. Um, so I guess I shall pass on your offer. Thank you.
All right. Well, since the job I was brought here to do is long finished, and I've satisfied you, it's time for me to return. And the giant red body becomes a cloud of red shining lights and just kind of like dissipates like a cloud of fireflies.
Hmm.
Like disappears into starlight. The ignored tower is no longer screaming, and the death-facing passage is now just
Just
passage.
a passage.
Is no longer deadly. Um, this will become common knowledge in pretty short order, and that trade route will open.
Phaedrid, I might point out that there are many artifacts on the passage
That
for someone of a merchant orientation, if you so have interest.
that thought had immediately come to mind. Perhaps we should take the caravan in that direction now that it is no longer so dangerous, and see what we
Do that.
can and see what we discover.
You can definitely do that.
I
Yeah.
have I must leave the caravan now. Um,
What are you in, what are you intending to do?
I will serve tea at the last serai, and then periodically I will visit with the astral devourer to relieve its boredom. I do feel I made a commitment to it, and I understand everyone's concern about releasing it, so I chose not to do that. But
Understood.
Yeah, those are the major things we wanted to hit. We can just kind of do arbitrary kind of like epilogue montagey stuff if we
Yeah,
want to.
well, the one other thing that I wanted to do was to go back to Chromium Dome in
Yes.
I think that was in Parchute Crater because there was the Chromium Dome,
Hmm.
and that was what sent me off to find the lost spell um
Prelapsing embedded
Pelipal
to make
Pelipal
poetry.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I want
Um,
so I think
yeah.
after we like take the we take the caravan down through the death face what the no longer death facing passage, do a bunch of do a bunch of side routes and like
Mhm.
like find a whole bunch of the stuff that other
Yeah. We
travelers
find
had
all sorts of cool shit.
also finding all sorts of cool shit and loading down our caravan.
yeah, and Aderon will help with that. Also, Aderon wants to go to the dome with you because that's approximately where Aderon started the whole
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
journey with your caravan.
Yeah, you can get to the dome pretty easily. You can cast a spell.
I cast a spell to open the dome.
And as you recite the poetry, it kind of slides open. There is a cache inside of ancient music inscribed on malachite rods.
Nice.
They're worth about 1,000 cash and weigh about 5 sacks.
Okay. I was hoping for something more interesting than that, but
Yeah.
that's what we had.
That's what we got.
Um,
I think once you've been to the Black City, very few things are going to compare.
well, I mean, if it's ancient music, man, I won't necessarily sell it. Maybe once I get to the Violet City, I'll like get an orchestra to perform it or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, and you can understand the words since you know the
Since I know
languages.
languages. Okay, well that was cool.
Yeah.
So Alvanegra has these visions that she's going to turn into a plant.
Hmm.
So for the next period of time, she is going to be furiously figuring out where her next body will be. Well, like she needs a new body. She's going to stay in touch with Skelly because she needs somebody to move her Kaaba again. Now that she knows this body is only temporary, she's perpetually going to be like looking for new bodies as
Hmm.
things don't quite go the way she expects.
So I think the epilogue for Phaedrid is so Phaedrid's going to go back to the Violet City, and I think that's where his family's business was. Actually, no. I think we established earlier that his family business was in Safrange in the Yellowlands.
Hmm. Hmm.
Although they had probably had some holdings in the Violet City, that's where he was. But the actual family business was back in Safrange. So I think now with the restored with the restored and the retcon of reality where the business is still there and Phaedrid is the CEO. I think Phaedrid goes back and like plies his trade and lives comfortably, does some wheeling and dealing, also continues to like learn magic, and because he's now wealthy, and has a level of prestige, he's able to confer with other practitioners of the magical arts, and he learns a new powerful spell, which is basic. I mean, I was trying to come up with which is I think which I think is going to be called something along the lines of um, open the door to the other side.
Mhm.
Basically it's a power level 5. It's going to be a power level 10 spell that's basically teleport.
Nice.
Um, I had some ideas on how to draft it, but we only had once. This is the last session, so I'm not going to bother. But so after he learns teleport, and after he plies his trade for a few years and gets rather wealthy, he's getting bored with the whole buying and selling, and here in Safrange, it's a perfectly nice place, but it's not the Black City.
Hmm.
He probably does some other traveling around the remainders of the Rainbow Lands, and he periodically checks in with his former traveling companions.
Do you pay off the debt for the?
I think I do. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I do contact the butcher bank, and we cut a deal, and pay off, we pay off the initial principal plus a reasonable amount of interest, not what they wanted, but
Mhm.
um, I think with a small show of force, or like a small demonstration of Phaedrad's like magical ability, I think they decide that, yeah, well, maybe let's not make him an enemy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we do. I think Phaedra does pay off the debt.
Sweet. Do you wind up? How long does it take for you to wind up at the Black City, the last house?
I think it's a couple. I think it's a few years.
Hmm.
I think Phaedra has some like more adventures. Maybe we team up again and do something else. We do some more exploration. But yeah, the what the bartender said back in the last house is turning true. That these lands out here are just kind of a shadow of what the real of like what is real, and what is real is back in the Black City. So eventually, at some point, you know he doesn't close the business. He transfers ownership to whoever next, whoever, to like his he transfers ownership to his operations director,
Mhm.
to take over the business, and says that, I may be back at some point, but at this point, this business is yours. I am returning to the Black City, and I think he goes back into his apartment, like packs a valise of like all of his various stuff. Um, and while he's in there, casts he casts a spell, and like basically it's going to be the same effect that what was her name, the
Yeah.
armored old lady.
Hmm.
It's that same effect. He's casting the same spell that she was, and it like opens, it like opens a portal, and um to the field before the to the field before the house at the end of time. And he looks behind him. He picks up his valise, and he steps through the portal. And I think the camera stays behind, and the portal just closes behind him.
Nice.
So I do have a question. Did you give Betty to somebody or
Hmm. That's true. I definitely want to keep Betty. Let's change. I'm going to Thank you, Teal. I'm going to retcon that. It's in the he casts a spell in sort of like the yard,
Hmm.
in like the outdoor yard behind his house, and Betty's there, and Betty looks amazing, even to the point where she's got some like more doodads. I think he's like upgraded her to the point where she basically can, you know maybe she's got the effect, the equivalent of like solar panels or something like that. It could like take the advantage that you get power from the sun, so it
Mhm.
doesn't require supplies. And so I think he casts the overcharged version of his
Nice.
teleport spell, opens a larger portal, um, drives Betty through, and then the portal closes behind him.
Sick. Does Skelly go back to take that drink?
Yeah, I think I've been thinking about this. I think Skelly goes back. There's a whole series of things Skelly wants to do. I think Skelly goes back to take the drink in order to free itself from the time loop. But I also need to know if taking the drink would make it immediately die.
No, it wouldn't. It's just
Okay.
you know that is your home eventually.
Okay. So I think Skelly would. So Skelly is like the ultimate, like theoretical necromancer, no, because has all the knowledge, still very little practice. So I think Skelly would probably, with the help of Albanegro, perfecting the like the transference and movement of like Hakaba between bodies and in various states and all of that sort of stuff. A lot of practical development there. Um, I think after freeing itself from the time loop and maybe visiting back the Needle of the World to, I mean, I guess Skelly already knows how it happened, but
Mhm.
still, like the knowledge is not the same as the witness, right?
Right.
So after returning back to the Needle of the World, I think Skelly goes about its its grand work is to create an afterlife.
Hmm.
So to I think it's experience with the leering abyss. It's been
Hmm.
like, well, maybe I don't want nothingness to be the end. And maybe other people don't either. So I think Skelly's grand work is to create an afterlife for souls. Um, and then maybe once something, once the start, the beginnings of that realm or whatever it is starts coming to fruition, we'll return to the Black City and find Lacquered Chaos of Impossibility and be like, I might have a solution for your for your trappedness. And I think that's probably where we'll close on the story of Skelly.
Nice. How does Albanegra eventually make it back to the house?
Um, After spending indeterminate amount of time working with Skelly and migrating her, mostly her ba and her ka around, I think she eventually. Well, so there are a couple of things. She she wants. She's trying to figure out how to heal these various machines and the conscious machines. And so one of the things that she is going to do is to experiment with the new technology of the um, biomechanical technology that the spaceship,
Hmm.
because I think that's a different technology than, for instance, what a lot of the artifacts are made
Yeah,
out of.
100%.
Yeah. And so she is going to see if she can, I guess, create um, a it might be more than one, but like a complex of biomechanical machines that have the knowledge and empathy and uh, time, because they can live for a very long time,
Mhm.
to gradually try and heal some of these other machines. And then because she is welcome wherever she goes,
He is.
she will introduce the damaged machines to the healing machines with the advantage of her being welcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's a friend. You know you can trust me, or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, like, and she's not going to tell anybody except Skelly about this, probably. But so she is going to secretly start trying to heal different machines. And then after a while of going from body to body, she gets tired. Um, and at some point, she's going to go into the Eternal Hero thing.
Mm.
And she just for the sheer joy of uh, as almost just a pure Kaba creature and um, just enjoy battling at peace, peaceful battle,
Yeah.
because she's calm, and so she's just going to enter the mythic battle, but as a Kaba. She's just
Mm.
going to give up on the body because she seems to have a hard time
She
staying
does.
in one body.
Fantastic. Eternal
So,
Ghost Warrior.
yep.
Cool. Modan, bring us home.
So Modan continues to build his great bean empire across the grasslands with the help of the caravan and with the help of Spatula, because the thing is, like, Spatula becomes his partner. And Modan's already got the pleasant, he's friendly, everybody likes him, but Spatula, having that sort of collected experience of everyone past, future, present of the Black City, and having that specialty in anthropology, I think him and Modan make a perfect pair. Like, he understands people. He kind of knows subconsciously sort of what people want, what they want to hear, how to treat them. And so between Modan's natural charisma and Spatula's weird, almost supernatural, just understanding of people, they are just very successful at building the bean empire. And they come up with new varieties of beans all the time. And it expands to being bespoke beans, like each they'll make tours around the country and someone's like, we were wishing we had a bean that was like more creamy and a little more. And it's like, got you. Next next season, we'll have that for you. And then as the caravan sort of disperses and people started going off doing their own things, I think more he creates more and more legumin beans to where eventually the caravan is Modan and a bunch of legumin beans. Still growing this empire, and also because Phaedrid was kind enough to pay off the debt. Modan feels Phaedra deserves an ongoing portion of the profits, but Phaedra's like, I don't need money. You don't have to give me a portion of the profits. So since he won't accept that, Phaedrid constantly gets shipments of whatever new varieties of beans are grown that year, every year. So he's always got that for first load of the newest bean varieties. Until eventually, after many years, as Modan's getting old and he's feeling the call, eventually he just turns the caravan, the business, the caravan, the bean empire over to the legumin beans, and who incidentally have to explain sometimes to people like, no, the beans we sell like to eat, they are grown to eat. And they are grown to nourish. Like, that's their purpose and what they want. Don't worry about it. It's not a weird thing. But they're different from us. And so, yeah, eventually he does join everybody back at the house, and the great bean empire is now run by the Gooman beans.
Nice. Cool. And the sun sets on the
I'm
Black
almost
City. Yeah.
I'm almost seeing like at one point at one point like the sun is setting like the sun is setting and like we see the house at the end of time and if we've all returned to the house, we're in the pool room and we're all just like playing billiards.
Nice.
Or at least those of us who haven't gone to
We're
the
not battling forever.
who haven't gone off to the eternal battle. Phaedron has
Making
zero desire to go to to go to the
no,
eternal cosmic battle.
Yeah, Skelly's not interested either.
making bean pastries or whatever that guy was trying to make in the kitchen.
In fact, I think maybe the only reason Skelly would even go there, well, if there was a way to return, would be like, hey, would you rather go to the afterlife instead of just like doing this over and over again?
And I think and I think like Phaedron's got a room and I think he's got a balcony which overlooks the wine dark sea and I think like we see like Phaedron Phaedron's sitting at a chair with like an easel in front of him and he's like painting a seascape.
But
You
wait,
still have
Mark.
the glove.
I do have the glove.
The very last thing that happens, something on the glove lights up that you haven't seen before. And you still know how to use it, so you give it a quick checkout, and you are picking up a message from somewhere outside of, definitely outside the Black City, but outside of the world. And it's a message on repeat. It says, "Alert, this is Zoo, ZU. Repeat, this is Zoo. We have returned and we have bad news. The retemporization protocol will not work at scale. Repeat, the retemporization protocol will not work. Warn the hyperlight not to initiate the protocol. Alert, this is Zoo. Hello, All Space Observatory. We are not picking up your handshake. Hello, is anyone in there? All Space Observatory. This is Zoo Complex. Please pick up. Please send your handshake. Are you still there? All Space Observatory. We have been alone. We have been traveling. It has been so long. We are low on spiritual mass. Please, All Space Observatory. We cannot wait. If there is nobody there, we must initiate the good night civilization protocols." There's some static, some hiss, some band switching. Alert, this is Zoo. Repeat, this is Zoo. We have returned. The retemporization protocol will not work at scale and we will be unable to reboot heaven. Is there anyone in there? Alert, this is Zoo. If there is no one in there, we will initiate the good night civilization protocols. And it just repeats that over and over.
It's a message that just keeps repeating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So I
that's the
can't.
last thing we see. Yeah.
But wait, I want a post-credit scene. I want to know what happened to Ottakar.
Otakar was probably hibernating somewhere and wakes up, like shakes off the snow. Cool. And that's the Ultraviolet Grasslands.
All right.
We did it. Great. Let's do a last round of stars, I guess. No more wishes.
Wishes for more games.
Wish for more games. Cloud Empress coming in January. Great. Let's go left to right from the keeper. Start with Mike.
Yeah, stars all around. Great epilogues, everyone. This is super fun. I'm glad that we were able to more or less wrap up each of our characters. We grabbed if we I think each of us grabbed our various dangling plot threads that we wanted to do, and this is the time to do it in the the final episode where we're just kind of like more or less narrating montages and like I loved everyone's epilogues. I loved what everyone was doing at the end. The I like the little stinger at the end where Phaedron's picking up like this weird transmission. Like, what is going on here? I'm not sure if I want to know, but I'm picking up the signal. I don't seem to be able to transmit. Although I guess Phaedron would be powerful enough to like attempt to figure out what that would be, but that I guess that'll be for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, stars all around. Everyone, it's great epilogues, everyone. Also, I want to call out the scene with the rebuilder. That was fantastic. I thought that was super duper cool. Both the, both the pulling the pulling the soul out of the pool, and then that scene at the Forgotten Tower where like the rebuilder comes up. And I the player, I didn't know if like the rebuilder was going to be, you have returned me. Now I shall remake the world in my image.
Yeah.
Boop. Um, but yeah, this game was my highlight of the year. Like for those who listen to the Open Hearth Gaming podcast, I did record one and I did describe Ultraviolet. I did say that this game was my game of the year. So if you listen to that podcast, you'll hear me ramble for a couple of minutes about that.
Nice.
This is a pleasure. This is a joy. I really enjoyed playing with all of you. Super duper fun. Mark, thank you so much for running
Yeah.
and for making like, this really weird setting feel so internally consistent.
Cool. Thank you.
So thanks everyone. This is a blast.
Yeah. Heath.
Yeah, same all around. Like really, really just fun from the first session I played, and playing with all of you was really cool. Definitely sad it's over, and but it was, man, and it's one of the most unique, fun systems. It's very rare that you come across something with such a really unique flavor like that that's so well developed. It's not just like, oh, it's whatever, it's cyberpunk or it's fantasy, or it's like this is its own thing that can't really be lumped into any other category, description, genre, and just so rife for creativity and weirdness, and just like running with anything, any germ you wanted to pull out of your brain, and a lot of fun. And so I really like the way we did the final episode. It was just like it's super satisfying to wrap everything, not finish and be like, no, well, whatever happened to the rebuilder? We don't know. Whatever happened to this? Who knows? We never got to this. We never went to that place. We never did that. It's like very satisfying way to conclude it. And yeah, just you know, largely due to, of course, Mark's GMing and then all the players involved. I've talked with Mark in our other group a lot of times about how, like, it's just, man, the group you play with can make such a night and day difference on how good a game is or how much fun you have. Or because there's been games where I've loved and thought were great, but then like you play with another group and you're like, oh, it's not that great with this group. And so it's, yeah, when you got a really good group and a really good GM, that can make anything, I think, pretty much good if you're all working together towards the same goal. So yeah, really, really great to meet everybody and play with everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Teal.
Yeah, so obviously it has been wonderful. I will say that this game has been a significant part of my emotional stability for the last year, partly just because the way we were playing was so, I'll say, spiritually satisfying, maybe, or emotionally satisfying. Uh, because we were engaging with the world in a very I think it just the lack of um, trying to take everything. So many games are about taking things or killing things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we never did that. It's just that wasn't what turned out to be our focus. And that was very grounding and very peaceful a lot of times. You know. I think this last session has gone very well. I was a little bit worried about it, but we were able to have some great scenes. We just didn't do the travel part in between, and that was really neat. And it's really interesting to hear everybody's epilogue, partly because of how everybody has like, different things that they were um, engaged with that were not always very obvious during play. You know, like especially like Phaedron's wanting to reclaim
Mhm.
your family business. That may have been a background motivation while you were playing, but of course it was a really important thing for Phaedra, and that's just so interesting to see. And I'm really like how each person or group of persons, in the case of Modan or Heath and I, where we have more than one character, how we sort of like put together some of the things that we've been working on. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, as Heath said, it's an amazing game, and this whole group with you leading it, Mark, has I think brought so much creative. Um, it's almost like we're playing in a coloring book, except we're using watercolors.
Mhm.
We're not exactly limited by the lines, but they give us some suggestion. And I just think, honestly, I think we've done. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's great for anybody else to watch, but just it's amazing where we have taken the stories. So
Thank you. And Mark.
Yeah, I would like to thank everyone for being so welcoming to me after having played together for so long, and then here I pop in for just a short couple of months, or however long it's been. Um, and so yeah, I appreciated everybody with everybody's patience while I figured out what the fuck this game was all about and how to actually play it. I definitely was not. I mean, I'm accustomed to like player-driven games, but not quite not quite like this. Right? There's usually still a framework involved in a lot of those games that sort of give players direction, even if there's still a lot of freedom, but not so much this one. So it took me a bit of time to get used to. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody just being really open and welcoming. Yeah, I thanks, welcome to sorry, yeah. Um, and yeah, that the last few I've really enjoyed the last few sessions where it's just been so much like RP. And I think that's got me I think because of so that we didn't have to do so much like of the management of the caravan stuff and the like rolling to find see encounters and all that sort of stuff, it gave me um I got to see a lot more of each person's character shine through that, I'm sure all of you got over the course of the time that you played together. But um so I really enjoyed that. That was quite fun, all of that stuff. Um Yeah, and I that all that rebuilder stuff was quite interesting, especially their like bits and pieces that I hadn't experienced from the game before. Um, and so yeah, it was very cool all around. So thanks everyone. Happy with. I wasn't sure what to do with Skelly's like, oh shit, so much of Skelly's like character had been like the pursuit of knowledge, and now it just has it. So now what? So, but I got some interesting ideas even just from this last session to like on where to throw Skelly around with. So that was good. Um, yeah, I hope I get the chance to play with you all again sometime. Um, I'm taking a break from Open Hearth for the first few months of the new year, I think. So we'll see what happens, but uh, I'll be coming back for sure.
Cool. Yeah, I will definitely be running stuff all year. So maybe not a year-long campaign again, but this has been super great. This is definitely it's a it's a long. We did one Blades in the Dark thing, but I think it's the longest campaign I've been in a while, and definitely the longest one I've run since the old days. It's been super fun. UVG has been a white whale for me for a long time, and it's been really, really cool to be able to explore about half of this massive setting with y'all. Um, yeah, and like you said, like it's so much of it was driven by your cool stuff. Um, there's so much stuff in here, but y'all added 10 times more, I think. So it's been really awesome to kind of watch the characters and the world and everything develop as we go along. And yeah, it was a great time. Definitely top gaming experience for sure. Awesome. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just want to say it was a pleasure playing with all of you, and I hope I get a chance to play with each and every one of you again at some point in the future.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to run more stuff on Open Hearth this year. I pretty much only ran with the Open Gaming Weekend this year on Open Hearth, but I'm planning to put a few more games in, probably starting in February. So look to the calendar for that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be running 4 quarterlies. I'm not sure exactly what, so we'll see. We'll see.
I'm so bad about it because I didn't even. Only reason I joined, I didn't even know about Open Hearth because I knew Mark from another. And he was like, "Hey, we run this thing. Get on Open Hearth and sign up for the thing." It's like I still don't like check anything there, so it's like I should probably look for things
And the
instead
Discord's community is pretty cool. If you
Yeah,
want,
Discord's really
if
cool.
you're into Discord, it's a fun community.
Yeah, a lot of good.
It's like I love to play more games, but I only do it when like someone's like, or like usually one of you or Mark is like, need a person for this game. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in.
There are a lot of games to play for sure. Cool. Well, with that, goodbye from the grasslands. We'll see you all whenever we see y'all. Bye.